Imagine waking up before sunrise, when the temperature outside is minus 20 degrees Celsius. The ground is frozen solid, the sky is still black. And yet, you rise, you wash with ice-cold water. You pray, and then you fast. No food, no water, all day long. In one of the coldest countries on earth, millions of Muslims do exactly this every single Ramadan. This is not the Middle East, this is not North Africa, this is Russia. Russia, the largest country in the world by land area. A nation most people associate with red squares, communist history, Orthodox Christianity, and bitter cold. But what many people don't realize is that Russia is also home to one of the largest Muslim populations in the entire world. Over 20 million Muslims call Russia home. That is more than the entire Muslim population of several Middle Eastern countries combined. And every year, when the crescent moon signals the beginning of Ramadan, something extraordinary unfolds across this frozen nation. From the towering mosques of Moscow to the ancient mountain villages of Dagestan, from the snow-dusted streets of Kazan to the rebuilt minarets of Grozny, Russia transforms. The fast begins, the prayers rise, and faith burns warmer than any fire. It is 4 in the morning in Moscow. Outside, the temperature has dropped to minus 15. Inside the cathedral mosque, one of the largest mosques in all of Europe, the halls are already full. Men and women have left their warm beds, walked through frozen streets, and gathered here before the first light of dawn. They perform wudu, the ritual washing before prayer, with water that feels like ice against their skin. And then, in perfect stillness, they stand before God. The Imam begins, the words of the Quran fill the hall, and for a few sacred minutes, the cold outside simply does not exist. After Fajr prayer, families return home for suhoor, the pre-dawn meal before the fast begins. Mothers in Kazan serve hot porridge and sweet tea. In Dagestan, families share warm flatbread and homemade cheese. In Chechnya, the aroma of slow-cooked lamb fills small apartments before sunrise. Then the fast begins, and it will not break until sunset, sometimes 16, 17, even 18 hours away. But the real question is, how did Islam come to survive and truly thrive in a land as vast, cold, and complex as Russia? The story of Islam in Russia is not a modern story. It is not a story of recent immigration or political tension. It is a story more than 1,000 years old. In the year 922 CE, an Arab traveler named Ibn Fadlan journeyed deep into the territory known as Volga, Bulgaria, a powerful kingdom along the Volga River in what is now central Russia. He came as a diplomat, and what he found astonished him. A people already embracing Islam, building mosques, and studying the Quran in the heart of the Eurasian steppe. The Volga Bulgars were among the first people in Russian lands to officially adopt Islam. Their descendants, the Tatars, still live in the region today, in the Republic of Tatarstan, with Kazan as their proud capital. But Islam spread even further east and south. The mountain peoples of the Caucasus, Chechens, Avars, Ingush, Lezgins, embraced Islam centuries ago, weaving it into their identity, their culture, their very way of life. For them, being Muslim was never separate from being themselves. Yet the story doesn't end there. When the Soviet Union took power in the 20th century, all religion was suppressed. Mosques were closed, imams were imprisoned, the Quran was banned, Ramadan was forbidden. Children were raised to believe that faith was weakness. For decades, Islam was forced underground, and yet it survived. In secret, grandmothers whispered prayers to their grandchildren. Handwritten Qurans were hidden beneath floorboards. Fasts were kept quietly behind closed doors, away from the eyes of the state. What many people don't realize is that oppression did not erase Islam in Russia. It made it stronger. Today, Ramadan in Russia is a celebration that blends deep spirituality with rich cultural tradition. In Kazan, the capital of Tatarstan, the city comes alive each evening at iftar time. Tatar Muslims gather in homes and mosques to break their fast with traditional dishes, echpochmak, a triangular pastry filled with meat and potato, and sweet chak-chak, a honey-drenched dessert that has been part of Tatar culture for centuries. In Grozny, the capital of Chechnya, Ramadan is a public celebration. The streets are decorated with lights. Restaurants prepare enormous iftar spreads. The Grand Mosque of Grozny, one of the most beautiful mosques in the world, fills to overflowing every night for Taraweeh prayers. In Moscow, the challenge is different. The Muslim community is diverse. Tatars, Chechens, Azerbaijanis, Central Asians, and converts from Russian backgrounds all share the same mosques, the same tables, the same sacred month. But there is a unique challenge that Russian Muslims face that Muslims in warmer countries rarely consider: the cold. In northern Russia, Ramadan in winter means fasting in darkness and praying in temperatures that freeze the moisture in the air. Wudu performed with outdoor water can feel like touching ice. Walking to the mosque through deep snow before dawn is an act of physical endurance. And in summer, Ramadan in Russia's northern regions means fasting for 18 hours or more, under skies that barely grow dark. Every year, Russian Muslim scholars discuss how to handle these extreme conditions. Most follow the solar clock faithfully, trusting that the difficulty itself is part of the reward. As the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught, the greater the struggle, the greater the blessing. Russia today is a multi-religious, multi-ethnic society, and in many places that coexistence is genuine and warm. In Kazan, a city often called the meeting point of East and West, a mosque and an Orthodox church stand within walking distance of each other. Neighbors of different faiths share food, celebrate each other's festivals, and have lived side by side for generations. During Ramadan, it is not uncommon in some Russian cities for non-Muslim colleagues to join Muslim friends for iftar, curious, respectful, and often deeply moved by the experience. Of course, challenges exist. Muslim communities in Russia navigate complex political landscapes and occasional social misunderstandings. Questions of identity, being Muslim and Russian, are real and ongoing. But something remarkable happens every Ramadan. The differences fade, the shared humanity rises. And around the iftar table, people remember what truly matters. There is something profoundly moving about watching faith survive in impossible conditions. The Muslims of Russia did not choose an easy path. They inherited a history of struggle, of suppression, of silence, of survival. And from that history, they built something extraordinary. Communities, mosques, schools, traditions passed down through whispered prayers and hidden Qurans. Identity preserved not through power, but through patience. Ramadan for them is not merely a month of fasting, it is a declaration. It says, we are still here. Our faith survived the Soviet era, the frozen winters, the long nights. It survived because it was real, because it lived not just in buildings, but in hearts. And when the muezzin calls across a snow-covered Russian city before dawn, and hundreds of men and women rise from their warm beds to answer, that sound is not just a call to prayer. It is the sound of 1,000 years of faith still alive. Ramadan is often imagined in the heat, in desert cities, in warm evenings, in the soft glow of lanterns hanging over crowded bazaars. But Ramadan is also this. It is a man in a thick coat crossing a frozen street at 4 in the morning, because prayer cannot wait for sunrise. It is a grandmother in Tatarstan setting an iftar table the same way her grandmother did, a tradition that outlasted an empire. It is a young Muslim in Moscow, born into a country that once banned his faith, standing in a mosque with thousands of others and feeling completely powerfully at home. Ramadan does not need warmth to be felt. It does not need perfect conditions to be real. It only needs faith. And faith, as Russia's Muslims have proven for over 1,000 years, does not freeze. If this story moved you, If it gave you a new window into the Muslim world, then share it with someone who needs to see it. There are stories like this from every corner of the earth, every country, every climate, every culture, and we are here to tell them. Like this video, share it,